Hello and welcome to the Hit the Post podcast. And today we have a very interesting topic for you all today. And again, we have the usual two, me and Harsh Chopra. So both of us have got a very interesting topic, which is Ozil and the death of the number 10. Now, what I mean by this
Yep.
is basically that number 10, like the central attacking midfielder role, is completely like demolished, right? Isn't it, Harsh Chopra?
Yep. Yeah, I think from past couple of years now, we've seen the transition from a cam to a more all-rounded midfielder, and this has been very clear in terms of Mesut Ozil. To take an example, obviously there are more examples that we can take, but Mesut Ozil is a player. I think yesterday it came out that he's not even in the 24-man squad for Arsenal, so which basically means that he's not going to play at all, and it's very. I mean, it's weird because he's getting paid like 350K a week, and having a player like that not even in your squad, like even if there are injuries, then even then you're not going to play him. It just shows how down he's gone, and this is very interesting because he's not the only one, right?
So
Like we have a few players
yeah, so
from
basically the whole
yeah.
question is that how has the game evolved? How has it evolved from an Ozil like midfielder that does not really track back or does anything defensively, rather just focuses all his energy on something more attacking wise? How has the game actually evolved from that point of view?
I think since Pep Guardiola or now Jurgen Klopp, they demand that all their players do the work all around the field, right? When we think of the number 10 role, we think of players who have complete freedom, who are told not to like the managers tell them that you don't want to defend, don't defend. You want to do that, that's a bonus. But the point is that since these game styles have come on where pressing has become such a big part of the game plan, there these players have not really come up to the job. I think Dybala, one of them. Dybala is one
See,
of the
we actually
players.
we can name of quite a few of them that have actually evolved with the game, and a few of them like Ozil that have actually been left behind in the past. So,
Yeah.
like we can take names like Isco that has evolved with the game. So he transformed from a center attacking midfielder to a right midfielder, or even play center CDM as well, or CM, sorry. So
Yeah.
players like even Ali, you don't see Dele Ali getting a shot anymore. I mean, I'm sure Mourinho has his own strategy and everything, but like players like Dele Ali, like Ozil, are not getting a shot anymore, and I think it's mainly because the game has become so progressive that you can't really take any more passengers. So
Yeah.
I think during the Wenger era, like you were telling me before, it's the game has changed so much from that era where Ozil used to be so vital for the team, and he actually notched assist like assist unbelievable assist numbers, like maybe 20. How many assists was that? 18 assists.
Yeah, I think 18 assists, but then he had Oliver Giroud as a centre forward. So
Yeah,
he got
that's
stuck on 18, I think.
so no worries. I completely get that point. But like since that moment, since that time, the more progressive managers do, I would say, like Lampard, Arteta, Gerrard, all these managers that are more forward thinking, they aren't really looking
Yeah.
at the center attacking midfield as a very crucial role anymore, because they want players that are more energetic, that will track back. And like you mentioned,
Yeah.
that Ozil is not someone who tracks back. It's not a nature to track back, you know. So like in terms of that, where do you see like the number 10 role going forward?
I think for the considerable future, it will be how players are being used right now in the top teams. A few to name, I think De Bruyne is a very classic example of how he started as a cam, and when he went to the Manchester City team, he had to adapt, right? He was a cam, but he does a lot of defensive work. He does a lot of tracking back. Whenever asked me, I mean, Guardiola, he literally plays his midfield as his defense. So,
True.
for a considerable future, but I wanted to ask you about Roberto Firmino, and he's been a cam in the past. Now he's I mean, his main title is given as a striker, but he does not really play as a striker. What do you think about that?
So the thing is that when we signed Bobby Firmino from Hoffenheim, we actually
Yeah.
bought him as a center attacking midfielder, but Klopp wanted to play him as a center, as a forward, like front nine for to distribute the ball out a little more forward in the pitch. So the thing about Firmino is that what I love about his game is that he has adapted to a sense where he had made this cam role and the center forward role his own kind of way, where he attacks when he needs to attack and he defends when he needs to defend. But either way, it's very apparent that in Firmino's game, a cam cannot be utilized all the time, because no matter what he is, he's not someone that's more like progressive in the sense that he would rather play up. He won't be able to track back too much as well, you know. So like say for example, even Bruno Fernandes, you know, he's actually succeeding in the cam role. So probably when
Yeah.
you look at him as an example, do you think the cam role has some sort of hope left in it, or you think it's only reserved for the best of the best players?
It depends. I think you need to have the mentality, right? I think from the players that I've seen in the past, right? If there's a player where you could put him into the number 10 role and still expect him not to do the rest of the work, that would probably be Messi, right? If you think about Messi,
That's an
he wears the
exception.
number 10
I'm
jersey.
talking about players from
But
Earth.
yeah, that's the point. That's the point. That's an exception. You need to have the skills of Messi to be in that role now. But other than that, I think Bruno, he does a lot of tracking back. He does a lot of running. When you see Ozil, for all his best bits, like you remember him from his passes, from his through balls that normal people can't even see.
Yep.
But then you don't remember the ugly part, which is that he does not defend at all. And whenever Arsenal lose, they probably blame him the most whenever he's playing.
See, the whole thing is that the spotlight on this number 10 role has only come to light
Yeah.
because of Ozil. Like, the general evolution of the game was already in play. It's just that now, because of Ozil and the way he's gone down in Arsenal's history, it's just pretty shambolic. And because of that, people have started to analyze whether the number 10 role makes sense anymore. You know, like take someone like Coutinho, for example. You know, widely successful in that role, widely successful. And I think he was the playmaker for almost everything that happened in Liverpool when he was playing with us. But like ever
Yeah.
since he's gone to Barcelona, he has adapted to play in that right wing, yeah,
Right wing,
right,
left wing, left wing.
left wing. Sorry,
Leeds
my bad.
comes in from the left. Yeah.
My bad. So that's another aspect of the game that is so important, that if you don't adapt to it, then obviously you can see. I've seen Coutinho's heat map of the last season, and you can actually see him coming central way too often as compared to staying on the left. So as a natural scam, he's come into the center, but he's not able to adapt that seamlessly. Now I'm not going to tell you that he's never going to adapt, but I'm saying that it's clear that more and more teams are favoring the 4-3-3 formation without a cam, which is becoming very
Would you
apparent.
would you take Coutinho, Thiago, and Henderson in the same midfield?
See, I mean, I don't want Coutinho back in the team. Like, not a fucking chance is he coming back in the team in any case.
Even if he doesn't show the form like he did when he was at Liverpool.
Then I don't want to answer this. I don't want to answer this. But one thing for sure, I don't want Coutinho
diss your own
back, even
player.
for fucking free. Coutinho not coming back to
Wow,
Liverpool.
even for free.
Yeah, not even for free. Because
Okay.
if you treat the club that made you so good like shit, then the club is going to treat you like shit.
But come on, I don't think he at the time when he left, I don't think he would have expected Liverpool to do so well.
100%.
Like they hadn't signed Van Dijk and Alisson at that time.
See,
They signed him after
I
that.
100% agree with you. But the point being that Coutinho was becoming overly, obtrusive in the squad and in the dressing room. So it was it came to a point where either we sold him for free or he left on a free. We sold him or we left on a free. So either way,
Yeah.
we didn't see Coutinho as a future at Liverpool. But the point being that he is no longer a cam because they can't play like that anymore. And Coutinho does not
Yeah.
track back. Like Ozil, Coutinho, he tracks back more than Ozil, but he's as
Hmm.
lazy and as sloppy when it comes to defending as Ozil. So that was my
All right.
point
Let's
basically.
talk. Let's talk about the future and if this role will survive in the future. And we can talk about Havertz, right? Havertz is a player in a very similar position. Obviously, Lampard does not play him in that position
Hmm.
right now because I think they're waiting for Ziyech to come back. But do you think a player like Havertz, which we've seen in a couple of Chelsea matches, that does not track back really, like he stays ahead, he does not do a lot of defensive work, will that be an issue for Chelsea, or do you think he can adapt like other players have?
See, the thing about Havertz is that he reminds me a lot of how Bruno Fernandes plays, very, very silky, very, like agile. So he can succeed in that role. And just trying to understand if he can succeed in the role of a winger that comes a little bit
Hmm.
inside as compared to a cam, because I know that most of the teams are going to obliterate that position as compared to how it used to be before, because everyone has
Yeah.
figured out a way around it, and people have figured out actually they figure out new players around it. Like if you take for example Willian, Willian is someone who can play in that position but is a winger. So if I'm
Yeah.
looking at it from that aspect, then I would say that there are a lot of versatile players that can play in different positions, but most managers will not prefer a position that is a player that can only play a cam role. They will need more versatile
Yeah.
positions in the team. Definitely.
Considering how bad Chelsea's defense is, right? You need
Definitely.
players that can contribute.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. Chelsea defense is shite. But
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
I guess this is what clarifies the entire depth of the number 10 role, because
Yeah.
it's very obvious that Ozil has shown a light on this entire matter that is becoming more and more apparent. So I guess
Yeah.
we have to wait and see about Havertz and Bruno Fernandes, KDB. So it's going to be a pretty interesting one. I want to see if they can actually adapt to the defensive side of the game, because it's clear that most managers are refusing to take any more luggage along, you know. So,
Yeah.
Harsh Chopra, this has been a good, quick one this time. How do you feel? Do you want to do a sponsor video?
A sponsor video. Sure.
Yeah, we're not sponsored, guys.
Please sponsor us, guys.
Okay, all right. This has been Vihan and Harsh on the Hit the Post podcast. I don't know the outro. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever you can do to help our journey. I hope you learned something from this. I hope you can contribute to this. So comment down below if you actually listen to the full thing. And yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks, Harsh Chopra.
See you guys.
I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Vian. See you soon.